See that NHS night collab? It's quite a rare garm. Thought I'd flex it. Anyways, hello everyone, my name is Adam. I'm currently a fourth year medical student studying in the UK. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you some tips on time management that have allowed me to successfully balance an intense medical degree as well as 3 jobs and other extracurricular activities too. I don't have time is one of the most common things you'll hear medical students say, because we have so much to do and so little time to do it. I just want to start by saying that time management is not something that has always come natural to me. It's only when I went to university I realized it's something I need to get good at to keep up with all the work. And being a graduate student as well, financing a second degree in the UK is not as easy as it is with a first degree, as you don't get a tuition fee loan for your second degree. So at one point I was working 3 jobs, working as an ambassador for an accommodation company, working for Deliveroo, for that sick jacket obviously, and then working as an events manager for my university. So balancing all these jobs, obviously part-time and medicine and having a social life, is quite challenging. So I feel like these tips, if you actually apply them, will allow you to get a lot more done in a shorter period of time, or at least get you focused to do the work that you need to do. The first tip I have for you is to schedule everything onto a calendar. Now traditionally a lot of students use to-do lists, but the downside for that is that with a to-do list it doesn't really account for time. It doesn't tell you when and where you need to do something. Whereas with a calendar, you know the date and the time a task is due. Also you can set an alarm for it as well, something you can't really do with a to-do list. So the calendar that I use personally is Google Calendar, because I find that it's really simple to use and it's great synchronization capabilities too. So for example, my university sends out an e-calendar that I can easily sync with it, so I can have my lectures, ward rounds, tutorials immediately uploaded, so I don't have to manually input them myself. So in terms of actually scheduling your time, I recommend a method that is used by some of the most successful people in the world, like Elon Musk and Bill Gates, and that is time blocking. So simply put, time blocking is a template for how you want to spend every minute of your day. Now it doesn't mean scheduling every single minute into this calendar. So the way I'd use it, for example, is say I'm at university from 9 till 12, I'll block that in so I know I'm going to be at university there. You don't need to write the specifics and manage every single minute of your day, you're going to just burn out. So I'll block that in, and then lunch 2, say 12 to 1. And then say I have a tutorial later on between 2 to 5, I'll block that in as well. It's also good for customization. You can actually color code it if you want. It's not something I typically do myself, but say I have something really urgent, I might make it red, for example, so it really stands out when I'm looking at my calendar. I think doing things like this is especially important close to exam time, when every day is really crucial, so you know exactly what you need to do and when you need to do it. So this may seem like a lot of effort, but it's actually a lot less effort in the long run, because you're stressing a lot less, because you know what you need to do and when you need to do it. So the second tip I have is to remove all distractions before you start working. And by distraction I mean something that prevents you from giving the task you're doing your full attention. So the way I like to do things is make things as easy as possible for myself. So firstly, you need to identify what exactly is distracting you. So for me, for example, the thing that distracts me the most is my phone. So what I do is I just put it on airplane mode so I don't get any light up or sound notifications, just turn it back on when I'm on my break. Sometimes that doesn't work. If I'm lacking self-discipline that day, I might just turn it off airplane mode after 5 minutes of studying and then just go on a binge. Now, that's not really the most productive thing to do and just wastes loads of my time. So what I'll do if I get really distracted, I'll use this application on my phone called Cold Turkey that blocks off my whole phone, prevents me from using any application, and it really allows me to just focus more on my work and prevents you from using your phone during that time, such that if you do get sidetracked, you can't just go on your phone and then on Netflix or Amazon Prime and then go on a massive binge that culminates with you finishing an entire series within 6 hours when you were supposed to be studying. So tip 3 is to make sure that the work you do is really focused work. So one of the main reasons I feel that I'm able to keep up with my studies and do all these other things whilst maybe not working as much as other people is that when I do work, it's highly focused typically. So one thing that me and a lot of other medical students use now too is called the Pomodoro technique, which if you haven't heard of before, simply is working for an allotted period of time, say 25 minutes, and then taking a little break as well. So you're working for a bit, then taking a break, working, then taking a break, rather than just saying you're going to work for a long period of time and then mixing in all these breaks and you don't really know how long you've been working for. By focusing intensely for shorter periods of time and then having scheduled breaks, you'll be more productive overall, as you'll save the activities that you want to do in your break for the break rather than doing it during your work. So in 1 hour you may get more work done than somebody that's been working for say 3 to 4 hours but getting distracted, listening to music, talking to their friends. So by using the Pomodoro technique, it can help push you through projects a lot faster by forcing you to adhere to strict timings, as well as spreading the task maybe over 1 or 2 Pomodoros rather than just saying you're going to work for 1 hour and actually getting no work done because you're overwhelmed with how much work you have to do. So instead, just breaking it down to say 25-minute periods will make the task seem more doable. So the constant timing of your activities makes you more accountable for your tasks and minimizes the time you spend procrastinating. So to summarize, step 1, pick a task of what you need to do. Say it's work through a lecture. Step 2 is to set a timer, typically 25 minutes. Step 3 is to work on your task until the time is up. And then step 4 is to take a 5-minute break. And step 5 to remember is after every 4 Pomodoros, you take a longer break, say 50 to 30 minutes. So you can write down your Pomodoros physically, but what I recommend is using a website that's free to use. It's called pomofocus.io. It's what I use all the time, and it actually takes into account the longer breaks as well. And you can actually modify how long you want to do your Pomodoros for. Say instead of 25 minutes, you want to do 30 minutes. It's easy to change on the website and really customizable. So to wrap up, what I found to be slightly paradoxical is that the more things I have on my plate, say projects, jobs, events, etc., the more focused I am. Since I find that when my time is limited, I tend to be more focused and concentrated on the task at hand. It's like you may procrastinate throughout a year, but when it comes closer to exam time, you're a lot more focused because you know you got something coming up. So if you have loads of things going on, like jobs, etc., then you have such little time, you have to find ways to make the most of it anyway. So a final bit of advice I have is to not be too afraid to pick up extracurricular activities and have a few things going on, as by forcing yourself to have little time, you find ways to manage your time a lot better. It's probably one of the most important skills in life, really. Do comment down below if you liked any of these tips, or if you have any yourself. I'm sure we can all learn from them. And thank you for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.